This is Trick and Fancy Shot 1, so Discipline 1, Shot 1. The setup for this shot starts with the 1 ball on the spot. I'm going to put it right on the spot. The 2 ball is going to be frozen to the 1 ball, and the 2-1 combination is going to be aimed to the right half of the corner pocket. How I like to find that alignment, especially when you go to a new table or a table you're unfamiliar with, so I'll take my cue stick and I'm going to push my cue tip right up against the bottom of the rail right before it turns into the corner pocket. And I'm going to use that as a pivot point. I'm going to swing my cue stick around on the table. And I'm going to slowly roll my cue stick into the 1 ball so it just touches the 1 ball. Obviously you don't want to move it out of position. But you want your cue stick touching the 1 ball and your cue tip frozen right underneath the rail right before it goes into the corner pocket. You take the 2 ball, put it against the cue stick and slowly slide it up against the cue stick until it's frozen to the 1 ball. Once it's touching, you kind of hold them together and roll your cue stick out of the way, give these a little tap. And so when you look at it from behind, you'll see that the 2 and the 1 are aimed at the right half of the corner pocket, as I'm looking at it from the shooter's perspective. The 3 ball is frozen to the 1 and the 2 ball, so you want to slowly bring that into place. It helps to hold the 1 and the 2 in place so you don't move them if you're not too steady with your hands. Give that a little tap, and that's really the setup for the shot. The cue ball has to be within the 1-1 zone by the side pocket. So I like to know where the front edge of the zone is, just estimate it with my cue stick. And then I start at 3.5 diamonds from the short rail. It's kind of my starting point. You can adjust it up and back. That is one of the adjustments you can make if this doesn't work for you. As far as my aim point, if I'm cueing through the center of the cue ball and I extend that line, I'm aiming for just less than half of the 2 ball. So what that means is the left edge of my shaft is even with the right edge of the 2 ball. And then I'll give it a little bit of right hand English. Hit it, I don't know, medium speed, not too hard, not too soft. And let's see what happens. So I missed the 2 ball. I didn't really see which way it jostled, but that's okay. I have enough confidence actually in this shot that I wouldn't make too many adjustments or too drastic of an adjustment. I actually have the shot pretty well tapped in, so I'm not using my setup system. Again, half diamond up. I do need to make an adjustment. I think I pushed the 2 ball into the short rail. I'm going to move the cue ball a half ball width back. I'll keep the same aim and the same alignment, but basically what this does, it allows me to catch the 2 a little bit thinner so it doesn't push the 2 ball as much into the short rail. That could have just been an unlucky attempt because that's generally where I make it from. Well, there you go. So that's how I make the shot, that's how I make adjustments to that part of the shot. There are different adjustments obviously that you may need to make depending on how you're missing the shot. And so that's obviously a very important part of trick shots. If you're new to this, obviously anybody can miss a shot, but you really have to pay attention to how you miss it in order to be able to make the adjustments you need to make. So do I know, did the 2 ball hit here or here? That's gonna change the adjustments that you need to make. One of the students I had was actually, I don't know what aim point they were using exactly. They thought they were using a particular aim point, but they were actually hitting the 3 ball first. And if you hit the 3 ball first, obviously, the 1 ball is gonna head this way, and it's gonna hit the short rail between the 1st and 2nd diamond, and all 3 balls are kind of scattering in different areas. So if that's happening to you, move your aim point left. One of the first adjustments though you'll make once you start getting it close is where you're going to move the cue ball. Now I'd start with just half ball increments left or right and find a position that looks good to you. As far as English goes, I would recommend using as little English as you need to on this shot. The more English you use, the more of a tendency you'll have to throw off any of the 3 balls, or all of them. The English I use is mostly to get the 3 ball into the corner pocket. When the cue ball comes in, you're going to hit the 2 first. It's going to carry them into the 3 ball, and depending on how it's aligned exactly when it hits the 3 ball, sometimes you need a little spin to throw it in. If you hit the 2 ball too thick, you're likely to miss the 3 ball towards the short rail. You're actually going to be coming into the 2 ball, and you're going to be hitting the 3 ball a lot thinner. So you're going to be coming into the short rail. And for me, on these tables with this balls, if I hit the 2 ball too thick, I'm also likely to throw the 2 ball into the short rail down here. So that obviously doesn't cut it for me. But those are some of the basic adjustments you can make. Again, keys to the shot. Make sure you set it up properly. Find a good cue ball position and aim point to start with, and use as little English as possible. And it's especially a bonus if you can actually get the cue ball to scratch or hit the points of the side pocket, because a more advanced version of the shot would have a 4th ball here for you to make. But for the Artistic Cup, they took that out. Those are the keys to the shot. Good luck, and let me know how it goes.